Good afternoon. Hand today is King Queen offsuit. So we have villain 4 limps. He has a small stack, probably bought in for, I don't know, maybe 40 big blinds or so. With this villain, we have about 200 hands on him. He's definitely loose, 62%. So he plays VPIP is 59%, raise first ins 26%. So he's probably limping 40%. Is that right? So 40, 30, 33%. So 33% is what he's going to be limping with. And then he calls a raise 100% of the time. So let's see this. Well, 59% here. Take out 26% there. Actually going to say he's limping all of these pocket pairs, probably. Let's add a few more of these aces. Probably suited kings. Let's give him more suitedness. Limp call to raise queen 5 suited, 10-8, 9-6, jack 5, off 9-8. Yeah, so it is. He's really. I have to find it hard to believe that he would do jack 5. We've got such a big range there. Maybe he would raise all of those. Just such a large range. I think we'll just stay there. Super large range. Folds to me. I am going to be raising a big percentage. And I think versus this guy, we know he's going to call. So our goal is to raise enough to get these guys to fold so that we're heads up. Fortunately, he calls 45% at 2 bets. He calls at 29%. They both seem kind of loose. So if I do a raise to like 4 big blinds, I'm going to guess that I'm going to get called. So at least possibly by one of them. I think he's going to call his entire range here. And that's still just a very, very big range. But I think here we'll probably need to raise like 5 or 6 big blinds just to get heads up. And I think I am going to be doing that with all of that. So I only raised 4, and then of course villain 1 calls. Now let's see what he has. Pre-flop calls small blind bets 52% of the time. Calls any 3 bets. He likes to play. It seems like he likes to play. So I think what we're going to do is a 3 bet. So he is passive. So his 3 bet stats from the small blind is 2 out of 52, 4%. So we're going to say that he will probably be like aces plus ace king. We're going to give him pocket pairs minus the kings plus. I think we're going to make him kind of heavy. Probably suited kings. These broadways. Probably these offsuits. That's 43%. Could be these offsuit kings. I think that's a suitable range. You can see, so he's wide range, and then of course he calls. So let's get my hand in here and see what happens on the flop. So I'm playing 31.2. That's 414 combos. Their range kind of varies based on who we're looking at, but both of them are pretty large. Flop comes down, king of spades, 3 of hearts, 2 of clubs. king of spades, 3 hearts, 2 of clubs. Definitely hits my range. I'm going to have range advantage on here big time. You can see that my equity is definitely 40 is higher than the others. This is a favorable flop for me. Both of them check. And I would expect both of them to kind of check. This guy's the one guy that he donks. So since he didn't donk, I'm going to take out top pair. Because I would have expected him to bet with that king just to kind of see, to gauge where I'm at. So I think I'm taking out all of those top pair hands. And probably, pocket pair below top cards, probably taking those out. Middle pairs, probably just check call. Probably check fold. Yeah, so I would take those out. So now it's on me. What do? This is definitely a dry board. We're up against two opponents that this player's out of position. He'll fold 67% of the time. He'll fold 70% of the time. But I do think if I bet, there are hands that will call. So I think hands like these pocket pairs will probably call. I think the weaker kings will call. It's possible that one of these, a 3, ace 3, maybe ace 4, ace 5 calls. I think those are both in their ranges. And, I think it'd do better for us to get heads up. So I think we're going to be betting all of our top pair hands plus. I think that is going to be for value. We're going to be betting our gut shots, open-ended straight draws. I think we're going to be betting these pocket pair less than top card. That's going to be more for the bluff. We're going to be betting our middle pair hands. So you can see ace 3, 6 3, 5 3, 4 3. Those also have some draws. I think our bottom pair hands, ace 2. We're going to probably bet those as a bluff. And then our 2-card backdoor flush draws. We're going to be doing a lot of Broadway. And a lot of these cards that have potential of making some hidden straights. So like 7 4, like a 5 6. Or 5 6, get a 4 gives us, that straight. That's our gut shot. We're going to be, I know they're already included in our gut shot draws, but we're adding more of them. Our straight possibilities. And of course, the kings are already going to be there. Of course, our 2 pairs are going to already be betting. 4 6, I think, would connect. So I think we've got, we're betting 51%. And actually, we probably need to be betting more. We probably need to be betting some of these no-mate hands just because I think they are both demonstrating that they're very loose pre-flop, but they are capable of folding when they're out of position. He folds to c-bet 7 out of 10 times. He folds to c-bet 40 out of 60 times. I think they're over folding, so we probably just need to go ahead and bet almost our entire range, so everything else against these opponents. So oops, hold on. It's not. What was I doing? This is my hand. Same idea. All of those we're going to be betting. Our gut shots are going to be betting. This is better. 2-card backdoor flush or backdoor draws. 4 5 would give us 6 7s. Ace 4, ace 5. Our Broadways. Probably those two. I mean, those are just strictly bluffs. Actually, no, because if we don't have them, then it's possible that they have them. And of course, our kings are betting, you know, top pair kings. Probably all the aces. So betting 65%, I mean, that's pretty strong. We're definitely heavily skewed towards bluffs, but that's okay. So I kind of think that's what we should be doing. So we're going to copy this. Make sure we get that full range. This is 65%. We have 371 combos in our range. Now, how much we bet? We should probably be betting seven big blinds, about half pot. I think they're just gonna fold if I bet, and I didn't do that. So I think that is a mistake. That is a mistake. So we're gonna put up here. So I think it's a mistake by not c-betting versus two opponents. I think we need to bet most. Yeah, bet most hands because opponents overfold. If they continue, so if they continue, they'll do so with pairs and we'll get value from those hands. I think checking our top pairs loses values because I think if we check our top pair hands, that I don't think that's going to increase the chance that they're going to call with some of their middle pairs at all. Like it, you know, if I check and I bet, it just looks a little bit, you know, could look somewhat suspicious. But you know, I think I bet and he calls, or I bet now and they call with those hands, and then an ace comes. Now I can check, and I think I could probably get a call on the river. Or they'll lead into me on the river and I can call, and I think they're going to be doing, you know, betting as a bluff. None of them are overly aggressive, so I don't think they're going to be betting their hands, but definitely I think we should have been, I should have bet. So it's kind of hard to say what should I be checking here because I think I'm going to be betting basically all of this. So like no made hands and everything. So I should have bet. Queen of clubs comes out. So let's get this. So let's say I bet, and then what are they gonna call? So he's passive. I do think pocket pair below top pair is gonna call. Open end straight draw is gonna call. Gut shot will probably call at least once. So I think he calls that, and he probably just folds. He probably just folds. So what we're going to do is, well, he probably just folds. He's going to be calling with those hands. So let's put that. He calls with that. I raise, he calls with that. And you can see that his range does have many more top pair hands because I think he's going to be a little bit tighter on his call. Queen of clubs hits. And now, you know, I'm going to, once they both check, I think that is just, again, revealing. They don't have a king. They don't have a king. They probably don't have a queen. Or they might have a queen, but they're scared to bet. They're scared to bet it. Now, once that queen comes, now I think what we're looking at is, okay, they already called once. They called with an underpair. I think with this hand, we improve our equity with the flush draw, so we're going to be betting those. I think that helps, can get more flushes or more folds with the pocket pair. So we can continue with our open end and straight draw. Our gut shots, I think we could probably still continue with. Although you can see that we are very heavy on bluffs. So I think we would be bluffing way too much. Um, wrong one here. We're betting those as a bluff. That's better. We're still betting top pair. We're betting bluff. I think middle pairs, I think are probably just going to check. Because I think the pocket pairs, the 9s, 10s, 7s, 8s, I think would have just folded. And I think we can get one more street of value from them with these middle pair hands. I think with top pair, we're hoping that queens call, or perhaps even kings call. And with our bluffs, I mean, if they fold, they fold. So I think I'm betting this, and we're about 50-50 here, 50-50 valued to bluff range. Now, if I bet that range, then I think at this point he's probably going to only call the better draws, open end straight draws, the flush draws, probably top pair plus. I would expect a raise probably by set and two pair. But I think top pair calls. So something like that. And same thing, I would kind of expect the set or two pair to raise because of the value and only get called by those flush draws, open end straight draws. So again, I think we've really narrowing down those ranges, and really of the different hands. I mean, this guy could easily fold. As played, I check the flop. We have all of our ranges in the hand. Now a queen comes, and you just have to think, if I bet, what do I think people are going to call? So going back to our hands, by the time we get here, I think we can still bet top pair for value. I think our mid, I think, yeah, I think top pair for value. I think middle pair could get some value too. Not sure if those small pocket pairs are going to be calling. I think our draws would probably just need to the gut shots give us 50-50, and then flush draws. And our flush draws are kind of like, if we don't have the ace, I think people can call. But if we have the ace, it makes it harder for them to call for that flush draw. So I kind of think we're going to check our flush draws. We're going to check these middle pairs, pocket pairs, weak draws. I think top pair plus in the gut shots. I think that's the value that we go for with our bet here. What did I do? I checked. So again, I don't know. Maybe I know what we have. So let's continue. Now the ace of clubs, and I think that's why we wanted to bet this, because I think the club draw is gonna call. So let's get some value. Also, I think let's say any queen, any king could probably call, but once we get that third club out there, I'm not sure if people are gonna call with that. So now we get villain 1 bets 13, and that's just a strange bet. When you look at this player, he is very passive, and then all of a sudden he bets on the river. Yeah, his one at showdown's pretty low, but that could be because he's just calling all the way down. For him to lead, let's see if we have a stat on here. I'm not sure. I don't think we have one where it's like bet and win or raise and win. But that, I think, the stat that we need. What's the likelihood that he's going to actually bet the river and win? Here, 10 jack could beat us. Straight can beat us. And you can see flush is going to beat us. Straights, sets. We need You know, we're getting 33%. We need 33% equity. Do we have 33% equity? I'm going to say no. Again, just based on his stats and on his lack of aggression, you know, he cbets flop 66% when he's in position, and then he continues 100% on the turn. But when he's out of position, he only cbets 1 out of 5. He folds a lot, you know, on the flop to cbet and so forth. So I think he probably has, at a minimum, probably a straight. But I would lean more towards a flush. I did call, and he shows the straight. Ace 2, 3, 4, 5, and I showed the 2 pairs. So, I mean, that's surprising. And I think, yes, you can look at it saying I saved money in the long run, but think about it this way. I bet the flop, and he's calling. Turn, I bet again. We're just going to say he folds. Turn, I bet again, and he calls. And you see, he's calling as an underdog, and he's calling with, you know, with the open and straight draw. I mean, he's calling with that hand, and then, you know, the ace of clubs gets there, and, you know, if he checks, I think we just check behind, because you have to think about what hands is he going to bet. Yeah, I think our nut flush we're gonna bet that for value. I mean, no matter what, because I mean, he might call with a weaker flush, but like the sets, I think we check. 2 pair we check, top pair we check, you know, all this other stuff we check, because what hands is he really gonna call with? A flush and a straight. I don't think he would be calling with top pair or middle pair at this point. So I messed up this hand. I really should have c-bet. I saved money in the long run because we just went check, 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 and then he bet 13 and I called, and I probably shouldn't even have called that. I mean, he's so passive that he's representing at least a straight. So, all right, I'm going to have a hard time filling this out because, you know, based on what I wanted to do, I actually didn't do it. Anyways, if you like this, look tomorrow for another hand.